with him running for Carl, you're just trying to see him to save Carl on the heat, because Carl moves pretty well.
So Chrisanne now.
With a shot right into shortstop, he can't handle it. The runner around second, the base burglar as you call him, goes into third base and runners at the corners for Dan Smith. So a shot there right at our shortstop.
And that was just an error on the shortstop, really. He got his glove up on there and just got there so quick he couldn't handle it.
Randy Romagan there at the shortstop position, a hot shot right at him. Really didn't have time to think about it. Couldn't gather it in. Robbie Ergel now stepping to the plate.
Base hit last time at bat.
Robbie will be pitching every other inning here for Dan Smith with a base hit his first time up. Hits it to a fielder's choice at second, and they called him out.
Ricky Huggins made a good play, waited for the man to get over there, and got the lead runner. Let's check that out again.
And Ergel gets a piece of it down the first base line there. Nice scoop up by the first baseman who turns, as you said, immediately goes for the lead runner. And the throw a little off there, so they couldn't go for the double play, but they do get the lead runner. A run did come across there, so that makes it 10-7 in favor of Dan Smith as the runner scored from third base. Kenny Carver on the mound.
Mark Creason's the batter.
Mark Creason steps in. And gets a shot this time to right field, the lefty to the wall. And that's going to clear the bases. One run's going to score, an errant throw from the outfield, and that will ensure an inside the park home run for Creason.
And that's our 15th inside the park homer for this tournament.
Greg Kennedy now up. Kennedy pitched the last inning for Dan Smith, and now he'll get his swings at it.
Kennedy's a long way from home as he hails from California.
12-7 our score, ladies and gentlemen, and as we said, keep your calculator with you. You're going to need it here in this Men's Super Division World Series championship game. We had 8 teams here for the World Series in 2 4-team brackets, a double elimination play. Sunbelt, the 5th ranked team in the country, makes it to the World Series against the 2nd ranked team hailing from California, Dan Smith, and we've shortened the name, but Don, it's a long name.
Yeah, Dan Smith, Backman, Mendoza, Worth.
Sounds like a law firm or an accounting firm, but actually it's a softball team, ladies and gentlemen.
Get the sponsors' names mentioned, huh?
That's right.
Kennedy draws the walk.
Lonnie Fox now stepping in.
Lonnie had a double last time at bat.
So with Kennedy at first, Fox will step in and try to add to that 5-run advantage that Dan Smith has over Sunbelt. And Don, while we have a chance here, why don't you explain the mercy rule?
Right, in the ISA it's 25 runs after 3 innings, 20 after 4, and 15 after 5.
There's a shot down the line, but it was just foul. Carver now getting ready to pitch. That's going to be inside for a ball. Runner thinks about going, but stops. Stays at first. Not a bad crowd on hand here today for the championship in the Men's Super Division.
The best of the best. They call this the Great 8.
And today we're going to crown our Kings of the Diamond, the champs for the year 2000. There's a shot deep to left field. Nice grab by Hightower right at the wall, and that'll be an out. So Fox gets a swing at it, but just didn't get enough of it, Don.
They make it here by the TPS Power Rankings, which ranks them in all their qualifying tournaments and tournaments they participate in the country.
Carver still on the mound for Sunbelt. So the Floridian here steps in and hopes to get a homer in this lovely Florida sunshine. There's a pitch, a little bit outside for a ball. Carver getting ready to serve it up again. Low in the dirt for a ball. Runner at second. And Davis will take a walk.
Too deep there. Arc too deep and puts 2 men on.
So runners now at first and second.
That's 2 walks out of the last 3 batters, and this could come back to haunt you in this game.
And Dale Briggs steps up. Briggs a shortstop. And Briggs his first time around, Don.
Got a single, and I'm sure this time he's trying to get it out of here. Looking for that certain pitch.
And he got it down the line, but I believe that's going to curve foul. And it does. And had that been straight, that would have been out of here. He did clear the fence, but about 10, 15 feet there to the left of the foul pole. 340 down the line here at the Chain of Lakes facility. 420 to deep center field. What I want to know, Don, can anyone get it over straightaway center field?
They don't often, but they can get it 420 fairly regularly. You'll see them, they usually like to try to pull it quite a bit, but they've hit it out here before.
Briggs steps out of the batter's box there for a second.
A lot of ISA staff on hand to help with assistance of the tournament. Lance Boyer from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Briggs gets a shot at it. That's deep. That's high. Is it going to be enough? Hightower back and makes the catch at the wall. So that's going to end this half of the inning. Our score, 12-7 in favor of Dan Smith.
Central Florida's.
There's the pitch inside for a ball.
Again, the ISA staff on hand to assist with the tournament. Lance Boyer from Las Vegas, Nevada. Claude Bowen at Frederick, Maryland. George Orr, Fredericks, Maryland. Jerry Stinanen, Warren, Michigan.
Shot down the line from McCraw, and he'll get 2 out of that.
Tournament, Mike Stratton from Bartow, Florida, and tournament director Mike Dembicki from Madison, Michigan.
And the officials with the ISA have done a tremendous job with this year's World Series as we crown a champ for the year 2000. A lot of fine folks in the ISA.
A lot of people. It's the fastest growing softball association in the nation at this particular moment, and making great strides to reintroduce the game of softball to America.
As we said, over 250,000 players in the ISA at this point, and growing each and every day. Wayne Frizzell steps in from Milton, Florida. Frizzell with a runner at second, takes one for a strike.
Looking for his first hit in this game as he flied out the first time at bat.
Frizzell with a shot there over the shortstop, and a run is going to score. McCraw comes home on the shot between the third baseman and the shortstop. So Frizzell with a single brings home a run, and they say it's 12-7, but now we know it's exactly 12-8.
It's the left fielder we've been talking about in his defensive skills, but this brings up Brett Hightower.
Hightower, who's made several fine plays out there for Sunbelt, including that climb of the wall. He was trying to take away a homer. It looked like he wanted to climb the fence and make the catch on the other side of the wall. Hightower doing a great job out there in left field. And I would imagine, Don, that's one of the most important defensive positions on the field, because you get a lot of swings to left field, just like that one.
You get your fair share of attention and fielding the ball.
And Crisan, the left fielder there for Dan Smith, picks it up, but that's a single. And now runners at first and second for Sunbelt here in the visitors' half of the third inning. As 12-8 our score. It's been a slugfest, which is exactly what we expect to see in the exciting world, the softball world of the ISA, where home run is the name of the game.
Georgia boy Ricky Huggins at the plate.
Huggins now steps in with 2 men on, and that's low. Is there any strategy to pitching in this game, Don? Do you try to put some spin on it, try to get him to hit under it?
You could do both. There wasn't much strategy there, I guess, but what you basically try to do again is break their rhythm. You can do that by putting a spin on it, trying to get it, jamming them inside, jamming them low or high. But right now, doesn't seem to be working too well.
So that a big 3-run homer, and he got all of it. Huggins with a 3-run shot. And our scoreboard operator has it 12-10 in favor of Dan Smith.
It's actually 12-11.
And that's what I thought too. Our scoreboard operator, as we said, we need a calculator in this sport.
And they've been having trouble with the scoreboard as seems like the Lightning got it Thursday night.
So Kennedy will serve another one up, and there's another shot. Again, the left field. And Steve Craven gets a homer. So the catcher, Steve Craven, gets a shot over left field, and now we're tied at 12-all.
That's what we talked about, a team getting in their groove. Right now they're just free swinging, and it's just lay it up there.
And no one seems to be able to take advantage of this, Don. We don't see anybody running away here.
No, neither team's put the pressure on the other one yet.
Craven, the pitcher, steps in. He got a single his first time up. And I imagine if he gets on base, they'll pinch run for him again. Craven hailing from Atlanta, Georgia. Facing Canada. And Kennedy throws one across the plate there. Carver will take a walk. So the pitcher for Dan Smith walks the pitcher for Sunbelt, and sure enough, as you call him, once again, here comes our bandit.
The base bandit.
Ray Patty, number 50, will pinch run for Kenny Carver.
That's Robbie Ergel back pitching now. At one time we must have blinked, and they're switching off and on what we told you that we'd expect them to do, and they've done it.
And there's a shot right up the middle, and that's going to be at least one, maybe two. Yes, double play. Nice play there. So Kennedy, who was pitching, makes a double play.
Again, you see the 5-man infielder, and it worked to perfection there.
Greg Kennedy, who's, as we said, pitches from time to time, switching with Ergel, picks it up, tags the bag, and throws it on to first base for a double play. Another Floridian playing for the Georgia squad, Williams from Panama City, Florida, up in the Panhandle. Ergel, as we said, on the mound. And Ergel pitching quickly now. There's a walk.
A little too quickly.
And here comes Derek Oliver back in. Steps in for his third plate appearance now. And as we said, coming into this game, he had 3 hits, a homer, and 5 RBI. From Burlington, North Carolina, leadoff hitter for Sunbelt. Kennedy pitches it across, and there's a shot by Oliver. Deep, but not deep enough, and that's an out. So we're all tied at 12 here through the visitors' half of the 3rd inning. We'll be back to Winter Haven in just a moment.
So, you're taking a trip. Need a little more room?
Hi, I'm Linda Hennis of Advantage Car Rental. Here at Advantage, we'll work out the details so you won't have to.
We'll put you in a vehicle that's right for you. So come on in and take advantage of our great rates and total convenience. We'll get you on the road in no time. Advantage Car Rental, when the last thing you want to think about is how to get there. 1604 West Memorial Boulevard, just west of Lakeland Auto Mall.
University of Central Florida. UCF, a metropolitan university on the move.
to Winter Haven now for the home half of the third here in the ISA Men's Super Division World Series. Our score tied up at 12. Scott Strebel in. Strebel from Plymouth, Minnesota. Shot, oh! And there's an error there by the first baseman. Second baseman picked it up, threw to first, but the first baseman just was not ready for it. And Jeff Hall now, the leadoff hitter, stepping in.
Jeff's going yard or hitting two home runs his first 2 times at bat.
He'll be looking for number 3 here, tied at 12 in the home half of the third. Kenny Carver still on the mound for Sunbelt. There's a shot right to the shortstop side of second base, going to go into center field, and now we'll have runners at the corners, first and third. Here's Big Wendell stepping in again.
Wendell Ricard 1 for 2 as he blasted one out about 360 his second time at bat.
Wendell gets a shot there past the shortstop, and that's going to score a run. And now we'll have runners at the corners as the run comes across the plate. And that'll make it 13-12 by our count up here in the booth in favor of Dan Smith. We've got a special guest now up here in the booth with us. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the man sitting next to us?
We have the executive director from ISA, Mr. Chet Till, who's joining us now. And this has been a dream of Chet since he's taken over to bring ISA softball to the country.
And there's a shot to left field, and that's going to bring 3 runs home. And there you said, he's a home run hitter. Gets a nice turn on it, and that ball is gone.
You see Carl generating the bat speed right there.
And now here's Doug Crisan stepping in, the left fielder.
Dan Smith trying to put what they refer to as a little separation between them and Sunbelt right now.
And it looks like we've had a pitching change out there on the mound for Sunbelt.
Yeah, that's Ricky Huggins now pitching.
Pops it up to center field, and there's an out.
Carver moved to first base, and Ricky Huggins moved into pitcher.
Ergel steps in. Carver on the mound. There's a shot right back at Carver. Ergel will round first and get at least 2 out of it. He's going to go for 3. And he's in the third base safely. An error there. And that allows Ergel to go all the way to third base. And Britt Hightower, who we commented on defensively how good of a player he's been throughout this game for Sunbelt, makes an error here. He picks it up, tries to throw it, and just loses control of it. And where's the ball? Where's the ball? Where's the ball? And
lost the grip just trying to get that little extra on it.
Ergel goes into third base. Carver still pitching for Sunbelt. And there's a shot to left field, and another run will score, and the runner will round first and going easily to second base.
Greg Kennedy, not the biggest player, but he generates that bat speed that it takes to launch a home run.
And up the middle, and out at first.
We have the executive director from ISA, Mr. Chet Till, who's joining us now.
Chet, welcome to the broadcast booth.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. We're glad to have the series here in our hometown of Winter Haven, Florida.
We've certainly been blessed with perfect weather throughout the series, Chet.
Mother Nature and the good Lord blessed us this weekend. We had a delay for lightning the other evening, and that's the only problem we've had the whole weekend.
And there's another run coming across the plate. Croissant there scores from second base, and Davis will step in now to take his cuts at it. And Chet, tell us a little bit about what it takes to put on a big event like this.
A lot of money. And we're lucky to have good sponsors. Macroplay.com, Legend Softball, Louisville Slugger TPS, Easton Sports, and our Polk County Sports Marketing. With them and working with the City of Winter Haven Leisure Services, we're able to get this beautiful stadium and put this event on for the top 8 teams in the country.
And as we were talking earlier, Chet, these are the top players in the ISA, and a lot of these guys make a living off of playing softball.
These are the top players in all of softball in the world. People don't realize how talented these guys really are. They see them in the stadium, it really evens the game out. On softball fields, most people in the country couldn't even walk on the field with these teams.
And as you were telling us earlier, Chet, after the World Series is over, it's a matter of positioning. A lot of guys will be looking for other teams to play for.
They'll be making their moves, signing their contracts for next year and seeing who they're going to play ball with next year. Most of them will stay with the same teams. There'll be a little bit of shuffle, and we'll come back next year with see who the grade 8 are for next year.
And we're talking good money to play softball in the ISA.
Oh, it's good money to play major softball with all the associations. We just hold the one event, the World Series, before the top 8. These guys play 16 weeks a year. Some of them make upwards of $50,000, $60,000 a year. You know, that is their job, playing softball. A lot of other guys, they do have regular positions, and they play on the weekends. But they're really talented individuals, and we're lucky to have them here playing with our association.
And as we said, Chet, the ISA growing over 250,000 players in what, about 30 divisions, and still growing.
We're growing. I think right now in fast pitch we are the fastest growing association. It's a little bit easier when you're the small guy coming up, but right now we seem to be the association everybody's looking at. Our growth has been phenomenal in the last 4 years, and there's more coming aboard daily. And we're just really, really lucky that people like our version of softball with the stealing. We're the people that started stealing in slow pitch, and it opens the game up, adds defense to it, and a lot of the people really like it.
Well, Chet, thanks so much for joining us up here in the broadcast booth. You've done a great job with the World Series. Continued good luck, and we hope to see you again next year.
We're glad to have you here. Enjoy Winter Haven.
Thanks again. Thanks for joining us. Chet Teagle, the Executive Director of the ISA here at the World Series today, the Men's Super Division. Dan Smith, the number 2 team in the ISA's Super Division, taking on the 5th seed Sunbelt here in the home half of the 3rd inning. And by our count, it is, Don, 18-12?
Right.
Sid Champagne and Don Stratton once again joining you from the lovely facility here in Winter Haven, the Chain of Lakes facility, the spring training home of the Cleveland Indians. We couldn't ask for a better stadium for softball.
Just a real nice environment, great place for the players and the fans.
Runners now at 1st and 2nd. Shot back to Huggins at pitcher's mound. Second baseman makes a play to get the runner at 1st, and that's 3 outs. So that ends the home half of the 3rd. And Dan Smith takes an 18-12 lead into the 4th inning. Back to Winter Haven right after this. Quickly pitch there. There's a shot to center field. Will drop in. Nice try, but it's in there. Three calls. Davis is going to round third, going for the inside of Harper. And he is safe. Hustle and excitement. Now the ISA is all about.
Tonight on Action News, a huge night in the world of sports.
But that's much later in the show. First up, cloning a woolly mammoth.
Tired of waiting for the sports? 5 nights a week for an entire hour each night, there's a place to satisfy your sports appetite. Up to the minute sports desk news, editorial and predictions from Florida's top sports writers, live interactive fan polls, and love them or hate them.
Perfect game. I'm retired on any given day.
How to run offense.
For the teams that won.
Sunshine Network Live, Florida Sports Now.
Need help with your game, new equipment, or tips on improving your swing? Strictly dedicated to the Florida golfer, Andrew Monaco will offer expert advice and take you to the Sunshine State's finest courses. Mercedes-Benz Florida Golf Scene, Wednesday at 7:30 on Sunshine. Florida Sports Profiles. He has dedicated his life to Florida Gators football and successfully led his team to national acclaim. Catch Florida Sports Profiles Thursday at 8 on Sunshine.
Back to lovely Winter Haven, where Dan Smith leads this ISA World Series 18-12 over Sunbelt. Sid Champagne and Don Stratton in with you here as we start the visitors' half of the fourth inning. And Dennis Mendoza takes a shot at it and hits a shot. And that clears the fence in left field for a home run. That one went about 250, 260 there over the left field fence. Shot to second. Second baseman scoops it up, throw to first, Rose grabs it, and there's an out. So one out here in the visitors' half of the fourth inning.
I'd like to thank Gordy Hagel, the old scout, for all our stats and background on all these players. Gordy follows them around the country, and it sure is a big help.
I'm telling you, without Gordy, we wouldn't know what to talk about today. He really helped out. John McCraw from Gastonia steps in again. Kennedy on the mound, as we said, for Dan Smith. And you're right, Dan Smith has pulled out to a 5-run lead here, Don, and it's important that Sunbelt answer because it's been close throughout. In fact, Sunbelt has seemed to hold the advantage in each inning.
They've just been going back and forth trying to get that separation. At one point, though, it looks like Sunbelt's going to have to put together a big inning to not only equal Dan Smith, but to put a little pressure on Dan Smith.
And McCraw hits it down the line for a double. He'll stand up in the second base.
3 for 3 for McCraw this game.
Dwayne Frizzell steps in. Ergel will come back to the mound.
One thing Chet didn't mention, also here in Polk County, Florida, they're hosting the ISA Men's A World with 29 teams representing 15 different states, about 4 miles from here at Winter Haven Diamondplex. So it's a kind of ISA softball weekend in Polk County.
Polk County is really becoming the capital of softball here. A lot of big softball events lately in this area, and a run will score on a base hit there. And 18-14 now our score with 1 runner out in the visitors' half of the fourth inning. Hightower from Houston, Texas. You know, if it's from Houston, he's got to be an Astros fan, and the Astros struggling this year, but Hightower's going to show there's still some power in Houston as he steps in.
Brett Hightower got 2 or 3 from Houston, Texas, or from Texas in this tournament.
Hall gets ready behind the plate. And there's a shot right back up the mound. It dribbles into center field. Runner at first will go to third and stop there, and runners at second and third. Wayne Frizzell now at third base.
Brings up Ricky Huggins, 2 home runs so far in this ballgame.
So Hightower at second, Frizzell at third, Huggins at the plate. We've seen him pitch from time to time, as he's come in on a couple of occasions and taken over for Kenny Carver. And there's a pitching change again for Dan Smith. Robbie Ergel back on the mound. As they're breaking the action as they talk things over out there on the field, so we'll be back over at play softball. Huggins steps in from Savannah, Georgia. Here's the pitch, shot, down left field line. It looks like it's going to be catchable right at the wall, and it is. Beautiful catch there.
Just saying, up against the wall, but made the grab.
Runner will advance to third base. So Hightower now at third. Frizzell comes across. He tags up to score a run. 18-14 now. Just didn't get enough of it. Right at the wall. And as we said, Chrisane makes the catch.
Right up against the wall there.
He didn't have any more room to run. The runner tags. Frizzell comes home. Hightower goes to third. 1 out, 18-14, the visitors' half of the 4th inning.
18-15.
There you heard my compadre, Don Stratton, give us the score. And Don, you've got your calculator out.
We're going to have to do something or they're going to have to slow down on us.
18-15. You said we've had some problems with the scoreboard, and our official scoreboard out there still says 18-14. Nice play by the shortstop who backhands it, but he can't get the runner at first, and a run will score. Hightower comes across the plate. And now Ruben Tatum is pinch hitting. Number 0 with a shot. Nice grab there by the second baseman who gets the force out at first. And that ends the visitors' half of the 4th inning. So our score 18-15. We'll be back to Winter Haven in just a moment. Half of the 4th inning here in the ISA Men's Super Division World Series. 18-16 and hoping to extend that lead. They said it was important for Sunbelt to answer, and they did somewhat. They got a couple of runs, but they're still trailing here in the home half of the 4th. And down the line, off the first baseman's glove, Striebel will round first and go for 2. He'll dig it in there and get it safely for a stand-up double. So run at the first baseman, but he just couldn't handle it with a hot shot. And he is safe. And now, Ruben Tatum, who pitched hit in the last inning, is on the mound for Sunbelt.
Big Jeff Hall, 3 for 3, 2 homers and a single.
So, number 0, Ruben Tatum down the mound. He's hoping to serve up nothing but zeros. As Sunbelt needs some defense, and they need to stop that offensive attack of Dan Smith.
Get one somewhere. That front one.
Hall stepping in. He let things off in the bottom of the first with a homer for Dan Smith. And he's going to get another one. And the left fielder, Hightower, does not even bother to move. And that was a huge one. I would say it's 380 if it's a foot.
Well, Jeff Hall came in with a pulled hamstring, but it doesn't seem to be affecting him one iota.
With the Rickard in again.
Hightower.
And Hightower makes the catch. No, they say he dropped it. It looked like he had it. It looked like it was another great defensive play from Hightower, who's had many of them in this ballgame for Sunbelt. But the ump right on top of it, he said no, that it was dropped, and the Wendell Rickard safe at first. The pinch runner now in.
That may be where the having the extra umpires down the line really paid off for ISA on that one.
And moving in now is a pinch runner at first for Rickard.
The base burglar again. Leading home run hitter of the 90s.
Georgia. Carl Rose. And that's going to be down the line. Is it fair and is it enough? It's going to be foul. But out of the stadium, but foul. By 10 feet to the left of the foul pole. Rose got all of it, but it curved just a little bit on him. So Rose will get another swing at it. And Rose and Stephen Craven, the catcher there, are jawing a little bit on that swing. Rose with another shot. That'll get her single, gets past Hightower, and that's going to score a run. He's going to round third, and a run will score. And Rose will end up at second base on the error. And the pinch runner, Hogan, comes home.
Temperature's cooling down, and the attitudes are heating up.
That's right. So Christine steps in and gets a swing at it, and that's going to be curving just foul. Nice shot, deep and out of the ballpark. Right over the Canadian flag, but way too foul.
About halfway through, and you may see just a touch of frustration coming upon some of the Sunbelt players.
As we said, Sunbelt upset the #1 team in the ISA to make it to this World Series.
one team was Team TPS.
There's a shot by Hussein, and that ball was gone.
There's about a power out.
And at this rate, Sunbelt is going to need a huge inning to catch up to Dan Smith.
Dan Smith was 7-run lead here in this inning. Last time they had a 5-run lead, so they're letting Dan Smith slowly pull away from him.
And that just cleared the TPS logo out there. And Dan Smith starting to pull away. And the lefty is up with a shot down the line into right field. That's fair. He'll get at least a double out of this. Ergel goes in standing up. Will he go for 3? No, he'll stop at second base with a double.
Been a little busy today.
So Dan Smith showing why they're the number 2 seed, the second-ranked team in the ISA coming into this World Series, and building a lead that they hope will take them to the championship and bring home that trophy to the West Coast. And another lefty up there for Dan Smith. Mark Hussein, number 24, into right center field. It's dropped by the right fielder. An error. 1 run will score. Hussein will go in to second base on the error. So Hussein in to second base on the error by the right fielder. 24-16, Dan Smith leading in the home half of the 4th inning with a runner at second base. Tatum still pitching for Sunbelt.
Great Kennedy from California.
Kennedy, who's been pitching off and on, hits one down the right field line, and that's just foul. And if that had landed inside, that certainly would have bounded around. There you see that corner down there, and any ball that's hit fair, if it gets past the outfielder, it's going to bound around that corner like it's in a pinball machine, and you're going to see guys coming across that plate all day long.
We've had 15 of them so far in the park. Most of those just been in the gap, and it's such a big area that they can clear the bases before the outfielder can retrieve it and get it in.
And I don't know what kind of pitch that was from Tatum, but it certainly was interesting to see. A little play acting there from Tatum as Kennedy steps back in to the batter's box. Craven and Kennedy jawing again. Craven not happy. As you said, the temperature may have cooled off just a bit, but the heat on the field is rising. There's a shot back to second base. He'll get the runner at first easily. The runner at second won't even try to advance.
Ricky Huggins on the play, and Huggins been all over the field today.
Lonnie Fox will step in and try to drive home that runner at second base.
Fox 2 for 3 so far in the ball game.
Fox stepping in against Tatum.
Knoxville, Tennessee.
Coming into this game, by our count, Fox had 10 hits, 2 homers, and 7 RBI, and a couple of sacrifices for Dan Smith.
Talk about keeping track of things and even a calculator. Gordy and the old scout with some of these statistics, I'm sure it's kept him up late some of these nights, providing some of these amazing numbers for these players.
And there's a shot between the shortstop and the second baseman. Fox will stay at first, and the run will come home. 24-16 now our count.
Yes, you caught me calculating there. 25-16.
25-16. Next time we're going to bring some mathematicians from MIT to help settle the score out here, Colin. Tatum's still on the mound. Sunbelt hasn't switched pitchers here in a while. We've seen Kenny Carter most of the way. We had Huggins come in a Now Tatum on the mound. With Davis at the plate and a runner. Lonnie Fox at first. And here's a swing right at the shortstop. This will be an easy out and a great double play. And that ends the inning. 25-16 our score. At the end of 4, back with more softball in just a moment.
Do you think it's...
Smith so far, 16 for Sunbelt.
Sunbelt's got to answer back with the big inning.
We're making it down to the third baseman with a shot. He just can't handle it. And we're making a save there at first base.
It's the error on Albert Davis, and Sunbelt will take everything they can get right now.
Williams from Panama City.
Here again, we see the shift on with 3 of them on the first base side of the pitcher.
And he hits it that way. He must have known something, but he gets past the first baseman. And he'll be safe, and the runner at first will go all the way to the third. Runners at the corners for Sunbelt. Oliver, who led this game off with a homer.
Oliver couldn't even wait for us to get on the air.
No, he was ready to go. He stepped in and swatted it out of the park. 25-16 our score. Oliver from Rosen, North Carolina. Thought he had a walk with a push strike. And that's one thing we haven't seen yet. Should he get to first base safely? Is a grand slam.
No, that's true.
There's a shot down to third base. Third baseman can't handle it. Runners score. Save at second. Runners at first and second.
Got by Albert Davis again.
The bases are loaded and the run did not cross. I thought for certain he was going home, but he stopped, and now he's got bases loaded. Ball down in the dirt.
Hit the plate, the umpire said.
Shot back to pitcher's mound. He gets one at home. Nice double play. Great defense there from Dan Smith.
Right back to the pitcher. Fired at home. Jeff Hall fired at the third base. Albert Davis turned a double play. And what a backbreaker for Sunbelt.
Take a look at it again, Don, right here.
Jeff Hall firing at Albert Davis for the force out. And they get the double play. Just a momentum stopper for the Sunbelt Classic team.
And Dan Smith worked themselves out of a bit of a jam there, although with 2 on, they're still in somewhat of a jam. Kennedy setting the defense again. With 2 out here, and the visitors head to the 5th inning.
Larry Frideau, the batter.
Frideau up with 2 out. And there's a pitch from Kennedy. He's showing some of his ways over here on the third base line and watching him pitch. Looks like he's trying to do a little juggling act out there for us. So Sunbelt in need of some runs here early in this contest. And there's a shot, nice high one, and that is out of here.
That double play hurt him big time, man.
They'll get 3 runs on the big swat, though, and that'll close the gap. So no one on now. Bases are clear with that shot, and 2 out in the 5th inning. Kennedy still pitching.
Big John McGraw's the batter. Three for the game. Drew a base on balls. Just about the time in our opening segment I told you we don't see many walks. We've had about 5 in this game.
And Dwayne Gazelle now will come to the plate.
Gazelle 2 for 3 in the ball game.
And you heard there on our field mic, everybody get a good pitch and hit the ball. Bell from Milton, Florida steps in. Keeps that bat high in the air above his head, waving it. Brazil gets a shot. It's toward the gap, but right there, Mayberg saying that's an out. That ends the visitors' half of the fifth inning. We'll be back with more of the ISA Super Division World Series right after this.
Central Florida.
ISA rules the mercy rule. If Dan Smith can get 9 runs in this inning, they'll lead by 15 after 5, and that will be it under the mercy rule here in the ISA men's super division. So Dan Smith can close it out with some run production, and they certainly have had that done throughout this ball game.
They've been consistent every inning, scoring 7 in the first, 5 in the second, 6 in the third, 7 in the fourth.
And Ruben Tatum still on the mound, number 0 for Sunbelt. There's a shot down the line for Briggs, and that'll get in for a double. So Briggs around first, wind up with a stand-up double at second. And Scott Strabell will now come to the plate. Strabell, center fielder. And that's a strike. And now he gets past the catcher, Craven.
And there you see him stealing the base.
Ron will end up at third. Dale Briggs at third base on the pass ball. Tatum serves it up again. Bell trying to swing it out with looking for his pitch. He'll swing it out, and that's high in the air. But it looks like it's going to be a play there in foul territory for an out. So he got a piece of it, but not enough. The runner tags and comes home from third. And that'll make it 26-19 in favor of Dan Smith. Jeff Hall steps in. Hall from Gastonia, North Carolina.
Big Jeff Hall just had a heck of a ball game. 3 homers and a single.
Made him.
Well, he just did.
Went past that 5-second rule. You heard him there on the field. Longer than 5 seconds. We're going to get an argument out of Sunbelt, but certainly it seemed like he was taking quite some time before he pitched. Whether or not it was 5 seconds or not, I do not know, but the umpire called it.
That's exactly what that rule's for.
So batter Hall steps back in, and Tatum will give it another go. There's a pitch that's slow to the dirt.
Got a strike on that one.
Seemed like it was a little low. They call that a strike. Call that one a ball, isn't it?
A lot of gossiping up here into play.
Oh, a lot of jawing between the umpire and the catcher and the batter. Tatum pitching again. Hall gets a shot in the left field, and Hightower will scoop up, and Hall with a single there. Big Wendell Ricard will now come and take his swing at it.
Big Wendell 3 for 4.
Big Wendell Ricard steps in. By far, Wendell the most impressive man. Look at those forearms and those biceps, and that's a guy you don't want to get angry from Little Rock, Arkansas, stepping in to take his cuts at it.
The big Razorback, huh?
There's a shot past the shortstop. That'll bring the pinch runner over to the third base, and they'll be running to their corners. And I believe we'll get a pinch runner, or can we get a pinch runner for Wendell or no?
If this goes in, it has to be a substitute. Now Wendell could go back in. The first man, Halchin, went in as the base burger. He can run once an inning. This man goes in as a substitute for Ricard. Ricard can re-enter the game one time. 2 homers, a single, and base on balls. The leading home run hitter of the 1990s, Carl Rose. And maybe the leading home run hitter of this game.
Ooh, Tiger Woods in golf is on a streak, and Carl Rose is on a streak out here today in the ISA World Series with a 3-run shot.
His 3rd one of the game.
And it's now 29-19 in favor of Dan Smith. Our friend who operates the scoreboard has finally got it working for us, and he's caught up with you, Don, and it's the same, 29-19, and there's a shot by Crisan deep in the left field. He'll round into second base. So A 10-run lead, as you said, the 15-run rule after 5 innings, so 5 more runs and this ball game is over. Robbie Ergel now stepping in. Ergel, who has pitched some, played in the infield some. Lefty up at the plate. The runner at second. It's a shot into right field. That drops in, and a run will score. Ergel will stay at first base. And now it is 30-19 in favor of the team from California, Dan Smith. And at this point, unless Sunbelt can turn it around, it looks like the championship trophy will be residing on the West Coast in California.
San Jose, California. We said in our pregame we expected them to reach into the 30s. We just didn't know it would be in the 5th inning. Mesa, Arizona product.
Son steps in, middle lefty up. Gets a swing at it and pops that one up. That's going to be an out. So that's 2 down in the inning. And Sunbelt, if they can get one more out, will live again and will proceed to the 6th inning. Greg Kennedy steps in. Shot over second base. Ergel around second, going to third. Runners at the corners once again for Dan Smith. With an 11-run lead. We'll be back with more softball right after this.
And third. Pitch steps in. Take that one inside. The runner at first will advance on the pass ball to second base.
Kennedy scampers to second. Puts just a little bit more pressure on the Sunbelt Plastic team.
An 11-run lead for Dan Smith, and the mercy rule is 15-run lead after 5 innings, so they need 4 more to close this thing out after 5 innings of play. Sunbelt led early, was able to answer for the first couple of innings, but Dan Smith has been hitting the ball well, and Sunbelt has been unable to really answer them, Don, in the last couple of innings.
Yeah, what Dan Smith has done is just been real consistent. 7 runs, 5 runs, 6 runs, 7 runs. They put 5 on this inning, and then they've just kind of kept the pressure there. And there have been 2 or 3 innings Sunbelt couldn't answer them, and that's where they pulled away. Well, Jeff, you said earlier one thing we hadn't seen was a grand slam. You may see it now.
And a grand slam would close this thing out, and that would certainly be an interesting way to end this World Series. Davis steps to the plate for Dan Smith. Albert Davis.
Okeechobee, Florida. Albert hit the first time to true base on balls and then was doubled up.
So Davis with a chance here to close this thing out. 30-19, an 11-run advantage here in the 5th inning. And a grand slammer sends everybody home and sends that title back to California.
And don't think Albert Davis isn't aware of that. He got a couple balls hit by him last inning, and he would really like to put this one on ice, as they say.
Davis steps in now. Crucial here for Sunbelt to get an out, or it's all over. Here's the pitch. Davis didn't swing at that one. He won't swing at that one either, and that's a strike.
Well, he's going to swing at this one, I'm pretty sure.
You're right, and there's a shot to center field, and it's an out. So Sunbelt dodges a bullet. We'll go to the 6th inning. It's 30-19 in favor of Dan Smith. More in just a moment.
Hightower steps in with Dan Smith leading Sunbelt 30-19, and Sunbelt needs some runs, Don.
Yeah, it's almost do or die time for Sunbelt.
And there's a big swing. Is it going to stay inside the foul pole? It's down the line, and it's an out. Well, Hightower gets a piece of it, but not enough. And Huggins now steps in to take a cut.
Ricky Huggins started off with 2 home runs, and then he flew out the last time at bat.
And Sunbelt can ill afford to go out of this inning 3 up and 3 down, Don.
I think we'll end it early if they don't put some runs on the board.
Huggins from Savannah, Georgia now steps in. Kennedy still on the mound for Dan Smith. We haven't seen Urgel pitch for a while, but guess what? He's going to pitch now.
Or is he? With these two, you never know.
And Urgel steps to the mound. Kennedy now goes out to play second base. So interesting strategy there right before Huggins was getting ready to hit.
I think that's the case of trying to play little head games with Ricky Huggins.
Well, they didn't, because he hits a nice one, but a nice catch.
That Kassane
makes a leaping grab at the left field wall for the out. 2 up, 2 down, and Sunbelt in deep trouble here. Urgel and Rose will switch out. Rose goes to play second. Urgel goes back to first, and Kennedy, as we said, steps to the mound with the catcher, Craven, in at the plate. And if Craven gets out, I believe it will be the first time we've seen 3 up and 3 down in the World Series today.
That's correct. And what a worse time for it to happen.
Nice shot, though.
And it's not going to happen, I don't think.
And he'll be safe at first base.
Just hit a screamer down to Albert Davis.
Davis thought about making a throw, but decided better of it. And Craven is safe at first base.
I think Albert was lucky to get the glove on that ball. Carver's re-entering for Tatum.
Carver, who started this game as the pitcher for Sunbelt, will now come to the plate. Carver from Atlanta, Georgia, as we said. Hall setting the defense for Dan Smith. Kennedy gets ready to pitch and does so. Looks like he's juggling out there on the mound.
Well, what he's doing is hiding the ball on the backside of the web. Just anything to throw him off.
Top 6, 30-19 our score. Carver gets a shot past the shortstop, and that'll be runners at first and second, and I imagine they're going to pinch run for Kenny Carver. And they are. Once again, that base bandit, as you call him, Ray Patty, number 50, will pinch hit for Kenny Carver.
2 outs.
So 2 outs and 2 on for Sunbelt. Number 12 now steps to the plate. Randy Romagna, I believe it is.
Burlington, North Carolina.
Hall saying the defense once again for Dan Smith. It's a ball. And he serves it up. Kennedy pitching quickly now. Call strike. Looked like he was trying to get a draw walk there and load it up for Sunbelt. There's the pitch. And he'll take the base.
Said it came in on the arc, but it came in on the back shoulder. That's cut the front shoulder.
So Curtis Williams stepped to the plate.
Well, we still haven't seen that grand slam you've been wanting, so
Curtis Williams here hopes to serve one up for Sunbelt. They certainly could use it, close the gap a little bit.
What a great time for it for Sunbelt Plastics.
Looked like they were not going to get any runs in this inning. 2 up and 2 down very quickly. Since then, they've been able to get a couple of men on base. Draw the walk there to load it up. Runners have no place to go but home, so Curtis Williams hopes to drive them there. Trailing by 11 here in the ISA Men's Super Division World Series. Just a couple innings away from crowning a national champion for the year 2000. There's a shot, and what a great play by Kennedy. Line shot right back at the pitcher for an out. So that's going to end the visitors' half of the 6th inning with no runs. Dan Smith up to the plate. We'll be back right after this. An 11-1 lead, and they've taken four runs
The 15-run mercy rule will take effect, and Dan Smith will go home with that
National Championship and the World Series title here. The man who hopes to stop him is Ricky Huggins on the mound now for Sunbelt. Dale Briggs from Melrose, Florida steps to the plate. And here we go.
Well, Dan Smith has come in with 7 in the first, 5 in the second, 6 in the third, 7 in the fourth, and 5 in the fifth. So if they do stop him, it'll be the first time they have.
Dale Briggs looking to draw a walk, and he does. Oh, they call a strike on that one.
Biggs comes in with 2 for 3, 2 for 4 in the game.
You get that walk and head to first base. Scott Stravell now coming to the plate for Dan Smith. Stravell, the lefty. Sunbelt will adjust that defense for the left-hander. Second baseman playing way to the almost halfway between first and second base is the second baseman there as the lefty steps up to the plate.
And they switch to the 4 outfielders.
Bell takes a pitch and now takes a swing at it. Deep shot, and that might just clear the fence. No! Hightower grabs it. Runner will advance on the tag, but a nice play from Hightower. It looked like that shot was going to clear it, but it hung up just a bit, and Hightower with a nice grab.
Brett had a long run on that one, but the ball held up there and he got right under it.
Hall steps in. Huggins still on the mound for Sunbelt. Another pitch that Hall is not going to take a swing at. Hall looking for that home run cut, isn't he, Don?
Yep, he's looking for that certain pitch right now.
Huggins ready again. Hall not finding that pitch. He'll take that one. It's a strike there. So Hall just not happy with the pitches he's getting.
Yeah, I don't know if that was so much the pitcher or he's looking for that one special pitch to hit his fourth one of the game.
He's going to go after that one, and he gets it high in the air, but I believe that that's going to be an out. Right at the foul line, Hightower makes the grab. The runner thinks about tagging up and advancing, but stops at second base, goes back to second. So Briggs still stuck at second.
2 outs.
Here comes big Wendell Ricard up, and certainly it would be a big boost for Sunbelt if they could stop Dan Smith here in the 6th inning.
4 for 5 for Wendell Ricard.
And Ricard, I believe, does not have a homer in this game. Is that correct?
No, he sure doesn't. Yes, he does. Excuse me. 2nd inning, he blasted 1 out.
So Ricard with 1 home run shot in this ball game. Going for another one. That's going to be foul. So he got a good cut at it, but just hit it about 15, 20 feet to the left side of the foul pole. And immediately Huggins pitches to him again with a runner at second. Huggins not wasting any time. Comes right back with another pitch. And Ricard gets a piece of that one, and that's over up near the light post. Almost hits the light post. That one carried about 360 or 370, and that's a homer, and 2 runs come across.
Yeah, it's right about 350 where the light pole is, so I'm guessing that was real close to 400
So
feet.
32-19 our score, a 13-run lead for Dan Smith, 2 more, and the mercy rule takes effect. 15-run rule after 5 innings will take effect, and this will be over. So Sunbelt needs to get it out here, and they need to get it quickly.
And who's up? Carl Rose.
Rose, who loves to hit him, out of here. Goodbye. So long. Been nice knowing you. A homer for the home run king.
Well, it comes down to Doug Cassane.
And the only one who had a chance to catch that one was the young man out there in the bleachers in left field.
He couldn't get the hat on it quick enough, huh?
So 33-19 now our score. 14-run lead for Dan Smith. Cassane, the left fielder, who's had a nice game defensively at the plate.
Made a great play the inning before last where he went back, fielded it. Cassane got a walk, reached in the air, fly out.
And there it is. That's gone. Cassane with the game winner. Over the fence, left field. Dan Smith has taken home the national championship. Doug Cassane with a homer ends this thing, and Dan Smith wins the ISA Super Division World Series. We'll be back with the King of the Swing competition right after this.